Finn the Rugby Hero. In the town of Sandbach, where the grass was always just a little bit muddy and everyone's socks smelled faintly of effort, there lived a boy called Finn. Finn wasn't just any boy, he was a rugby boy. He ate rugby, he dreamed rugby. He once tackled a snowman by accident because it looked like a prop forward. Every day, rain or shine or surprise hailstorm, Finn trained with his team at Sandbach RUFC. His boots were caked in glory and also mud, and his kit bag contained nothing but snacks, socks, and also enough determination to power a tractor. His teammates called him Finn the Finisher, not because he always scored tries, although he did, but because he finished everything. Training drills, team talks, post-match pies. He ran like a gazelle. He passed like a wizard. He tackled like a polite rhino. But for all his training, one thing stood in Finn's way. The final. The big trophy match. The day of reckoning. It was supposed to be just another game, but when the other team arrived, it became clear this was no ordinary squad. They were huge. They were terrifying. Their coach wore a cape and answered only to the name, the Cruncher. They had a mascot that was just a painted boulder named Doom. One of their players was rumoured to be part moose. They chanted in unison and drank beetroot juice straight from the bottle. The Sandbach team looked nervous. One of them quietly googled escape routes under rugby fields. Finn stood in the middle of all of it, trying not to show how scared he was. He could hear the voice of his coach, old Mick, echoing in his ears. Rugby's not about being fearless, lad. It's about doing brave things even though you're scared, and never, ever passing backwards to a seagull. The whistle blew. The match began. Immediately, chaos. A rolling maul turned into a rolling mallard after a duck wandered onto the field and refused to leave. Finn got flattened by a player with thighs like tree trunks and woke up with a mouthful of grass and the vague memory of his life flashing before his eyes. The scoreboard ticked on. Opponents 17, Sandbach 0. It was a disaster. The crowd looked nervous. One fan began knitting sorry into a scarf just in case. And then came the real jeopardy. A shriek erupted from the sidelines. A badger, furious, fast, and wearing a bib that said Team Snack Patrol, had broken into the changing room and was now loose on the pitch. Players scattered. The referee took refuge behind the boulder mascot. In the confusion, the opponents scored again. Opponents 22, Sandbach 0. Finn sat in the mud, furious. Furious at the score, furious at the badger, furious at himself. This wasn't what he trained for. This wasn't what the soggy porridge mud and midnight push-ups were for. This wasn't what the bin tackle was for. And then, something inside Finn changed. A little switch. A little click. He stood, slowly. He wiped the mud from his eyes. He yelled one word. Now! His teammates stared. Now what? Now we fight back, said Finn, with heart, with grit, and with someone distracting the badger. Reg, the hooker, ran off screaming, waving a packet of crisps. It worked. Finn led the charge. He ran like a thunderclap in boots. He dodged like a shopping trolley in a car park. He passed, tackled, supported, and spun. Try! 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 The scoreboard ticked again. 22-5, 22-10, 22-15. Then one final minute. One play left. The team needed a miracle, or at least someone with very good ankles. The ball landed in Finn's hand. He looked up. The try line glowed like a holy beacon. Between him and it stood the Cruncher's star player, a prop so massive he had his own postcode. Finn sprinted, the prop roared, they collided, and for a moment, all was still. Then, slowly, Finn's boot poked past the try line. The ball touched down. Try. The ref blew the whistle. Sandbach had won. The crowd erupted. The badger wept softly. Finn lifted the trophy above his head. His first. But it wouldn't be the last, because Finn wasn't just a boy anymore, he was a rugby hero. The final whistle blew. Sandbach had won. The crowd went wild. The trophy gleamed. The badger licked a packet of crisps and wandered off into the jubilation. Finn stood in the middle of the pitch, chest heaving, jersey ripped, one sock missing, and a small piece of goalpost padding stuck to his elbow. He had never felt so exhausted, or so alive. But just as his team hoisted him onto their shoulders, well, one shoulder, he was very muddy, a quiet, deliberate clap echoed from the sidelines. A man stood there, wearing a long trench coat, black boots polished to a shine, and a rugby cap that looked like it had never lost a single match. He had a clipboard, he had a pen, he had an aura of destiny. The crowd went quiet. "Finn! Finn!" the man said, stepping forward. "That was something else." "Thanks," Finn panted, still unsure if he dreamt the whole thing. The man didn't blink. "The name's Clive Big Shoulders, England Rugby Union. I've been scouting talent for 30 years, and I don't think I've seen footwork like that since the great sidestep scandal of '94. He leaned forward. "Tell me, son, how would you feel about playing in white?" Finn blinked. Like white kit? Like England white? Clive nodded. "Trial starts Monday. Bring boots and snacks." We're low on snacks. The rest was a blur. Finn trained harder than ever, learned new words like offside trap, structured play, and media interview. He kept a photo of the Sandbach trophy next to his bed. Months later, he stood beneath the stadium lights, wearing the England jersey, the red rose blazing on his chest. The crowd roared his name. "Finn, Finn, 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 Finn." He took a deep breath, thought of porridge mud, bin tackles, flying ducks, and a pitch full of heart. The whistle blew, and the boy from Sandbach took flight once again. Thank you to Finn for giving us the name Finn the Rugby Hero. Come on, Finn, we'll make you a rugby hero. I'm sure you're brilliant and you'll do that too. Thank you so much for your idea. If you would like to see any story made, we will bring it to life. I can't wait to read it out. Just send it over to the story quest page at funkidslive.com. Got an idea for a story? Tell us the title at funkidslive.com/storyquest and we could bring your story to life. For a new story each week, make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss a single episode. Also, to get access to over 300 stories, ad-free listening, and early story releases, become a Fun Kids Podcast Plus subscriber. Just sign up at funkidslive.com/plus.